Hey everybody, it's Dana with CoachDanaInspires.com, and we are so excited that you're here today with business inspiration. We have a fabulous guest today. Our guest today is Cindy Saylor from Saylor's Journey, and she is an expert on mental health in the workplace. And boy, oh boy, we need that more today than ever. We're going to be talking about that. So, Cindy, how are you today? What's going on? How's your family?
Dana, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're doing well. The way I look at it, I'm healthy, I'm well, and I think that's the name of the game right now. It
Yeah,
really is.
I think
You
so
know,
too.
John and we've been on a roller coaster like so many people. We got planned a wedding in 2020. We got married in 2020. A lot of changes had to happen. It was a wedding for 20. And we were also faced with another obstacle. Part of that roller coaster is his sister passed away the day before we got married.
Oh,
And,
wow.
yeah. So the roller coaster kept going. And so did we. It's one of those, they're from Jersey. They weren't able to be here. The best part about it is he was able to be on the phone with her while she passed. It was,
Oh,
it was a timing thing and it worked out well. After we got off the phone, we had to take a big deep breath and realize, okay, what do we do now?
yeah.
And we both heard her voice and said, in her Jersey sassy, gruff, way, you're going through with this. You're going through with the wedding. And we did. And it was a beautiful day. We were able to really embrace the day for ourselves. And it really taught us a lot about mindset.
Yeah.
It really did. It really taught us a lot. And of course, we traded in our honeymoon for a wake because they do wakes in Jersey.
Okay.
Okay. During, just, yeah, I know it's a whole different world over there. We, during the wake, I think it brought us closer because
Yeah.
at that time, we really realized that we're celebrating our lives coming together, but we were also celebrating a life like the life cycle, and a life passing. And we were able to celebrate her. What we couldn't plan for was the things that we were being told, like in the receiving line. And I'll tell you what, you can't script this shit. Excuse me, but I'm serious. You can't script it. But we were, and you couldn't plan for it. And that's how life happens. But folks were like, oh, congratulations. So sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay, movies are made out of these scenarios, right? I'm standing there
Mhm.
going, movies are made out of these scenarios. But it was one of those where it did really teach us the biggest lesson in life is what mindset do you have? You could either be angry, pissed, and just frustrated, or you could just
Yeah.
really embrace it with positivity. And that's what we chose to do. It was wonderful. It really
Yeah.
was.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to, um, I guess you say, embrace it in that manner instead of allowing that to really put a block in it. So I think that's great. And I think so many people who are watching today, they've run into roadblocks like that. Hopefully not as traumatic, but you run into roadblocks, and it is how do we get through this? And it's mindset. And I'm super happy you brought that up. And so speaking of mindset and our topic today, mental health in the workplace. Hey, what can we as business owners, entrepreneurs, what can we do right now to really make a big difference in our businesses?
Wow. That's a great question because, business are struggling. They are faced with so many, I guess, roller coaster rides, if you want to put it that way,
Yeah.
of trying to keep themselves healthy, keeping their staff healthy. How do we keep the clients healthy? And how do we keep the business healthy? there, and then all the updates and the mandates. And when you look at it, it is mindset. Once again, if we could take and look at the mindset that we have and look at how can we innovate ourselves? Because innovation is I think one of the key situations that we're faced with. We traded in a honeymoon for a wake. Innovative. Okay, we'll figure out the honeymoon later. Right now, where businesses are faced with is keeping everyone healthy and safe. But at the same time, I think the biggest thing that's in the news right now is the hiring situation. Mm-hmm. And what a lot of business owners are doing is they want to do an incentive. They want to do these bonuses, which sounds wonderful, absolutely. However, what about their current staff right now?
Yeah.
What are they doing for their current staff? The staff that either took pay cuts or worked maybe part-time, maybe they had to take time off, with leave or something, but they stuck it through with the business owners through the toughest time their business probably will ever face. And please, may this be the only big thing we have to face, enough. Yeah. But what are they doing for their staff? So psychologically, it sounds like a great idea to get people in the door. However, what does it sound like to your staff? Is your staff thinking, well, I'm not important enough? I just went through the pandemic for you.
Yeah.
Been there on the front lines, been there in the trenches to keep things going. How are you taking care of me? So when we look at mindset and the mental situations that we're facing today, think about, what will my staff think of this?
Yeah, I think, and sometimes I've seen these ads on the TV about, for new customers only, you get $100 bonus in your checking account. Okay, I have been with that bank since I was a baby. And so that's been 30 years. And I'm sitting, so do I get $100 in my check account because I've stuck it out? And yeah, so I like what you're saying, that we need to be thinking about the employees that are already there. And wow, have you guys thought about this out there in Facebook land and YouTube land? Have you really thought about how your current staff is thinking? I like that. Thank you. And of course, you think of these things, Cindy, because you are a neuro-linguistic practitioner. Now, that sounds pretty fancy schmancy to me. What the heck? Help me out here, girlfriend. I'm sure all of our viewers today are way smarter than me. What is a neuro-linguistic practitioner, and why do I care?
Big words, but with a big impact. But they really mean, like, neuro is brain, linguistics is language. If you tie those two together, it's the language of our brain. Okay. Now, what does that mean? It means we create dialogues, we create narratives, and these dialogues and narratives come from our beliefs and our behaviors. So to understand how your brain is wired will give you a better idea of where your beliefs and behavior patterns come from. So let's go back to the wedding and the wake. I could have turned out to be a bridezilla. If my brain was wired that way, I could have made it all about me and not about the bigger picture.
Right.
But my brain's not wired that way. My brain is more wired to be, okay, we've got a problem, but let's look at this problem more as an opportunity or the possibilities that can come out of it. That's where you look at life like life is happening for you, not to you. So the language of our brain, the way things are wired, the verbiage that we use, the tonalities that we use, really sets us up either for success or sometimes failure in our own lives.
Wow. Yeah. Man, I don't think I've ever thought of it quite like that. Sort of what are we saying to ourselves? What's, as you say, that narrative that's going on? That is, I think it sounds fairly powerful. Viewers out there, are you thinking the same thing?
And you know what, Dana, just to add a little bit more to
Yeah,
it,
please do.
our thoughts matter. So whatever our thoughts are, they become our words. Then our words become like our actions, and then our actions become our behavior. So if it all starts with the thought, it kind of spirals through how we speak to others or how we're going to be spoken to, and it's our actions, and it becomes our environment.
Yeah.
And it's important to make sure we have a strong hold, because you can control your thoughts, a strong hold on the thoughts that we are saying out to the world, and also to ourselves, to our staff, especially to our staff.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and staff, and I think our clients as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And how are we interacting with them in this mind? Because I think it's you said about mindset, and you have to be mindful. You have to be thinking about how you are expressing things. So I think our thoughts matter. I think that really makes a really good sense. And I saw a meme, and I'm misquoting it, I am sure, but something about if you know that your thoughts can change your life, you would never say a negative thing to yourself again, or and I think that's kind of what
absolutely
you're pointing at here. So if we wake up in the morning and go, oh, yuck, it's Monday, if that sets our tone for the day.
Yes.
But instead, it is stinking Monday, and we are so excited. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Okay. I like it. I like that. Maybe that's why I teach walk aerobics on Monday mornings, because the rest of the day is just after that. So speaking of all this mindfulness and thoughts, so how does neurolinguistics help a business owner? What can the business owner do with this information?
For a number of business owners, they may say, I've done it this way all these years. This is the way it's been successful all these years. Well, needless to say, we're in a pandemic situation, and life is literally turned upside down. And I typically ask the clients, and how well is that working for you now? Because right now is what we need to be focused on. So in a sense, for business owners, we get maybe tunneled vision or stuck that it has to be this way. And that's when innovation comes back into play. We used the word earlier, we could use it again, innovation. How are we able to reinvent ourselves? I'll tell you, there's 3 clients. I can give you 3 examples. One, it was a restaurant owner. He had to completely shut down, but he needs to work to make money, to keep the roof over his head. He redesigned his restaurant to be a drive-through. Never was a drive-through to begin with, but he created a drive-through. He's up and moving. He's successful. But what he's also done is he's able to move forward now with the business being open. He's got drive-through and dine-in. So he's actually doubled his income. So that's a win-win. Another client, their business went completely to stay at home, then to hybrid. And the hybrid is working for them because there are individuals that work very well at home, individuals that work very well at the office. And what the business owner is able to do is actually cut down their overhead, have smaller rental space. And once again, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
And then the final one, this is a great one. Another restaurant owner, because takeout was just not an option because the type of food being served just does not hold up well in a takeout situation, she decided to do a food cart so she could serve outside out of a parking lot. Her staff could man that. She could still man her restaurant. But then to also bridge the gap of making additional revenue, she's known for her sausage. She
Oh.
decided to do it in bulk. And then she could sell it from her restaurant. But she didn't stop there. She decided, what kind of an experience could the person have at home? Well, she created a menu for them. Here's all the other supplies that you can go to the grocery store, pick these up. You could pair it with this type of wine or this type of beer, and then they could have their own restaurant experience at home.
Wow. Nice.
So innovation, thinking outside the box, maybe even doing like a think tank. Talk to your employees. What's working, what's not working? What do you see that we could do better? Find out from the employees, but this also helps empower them to have a voice. Then they feel appreciated and acknowledged, and that is priceless today.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And I do think bringing the employees in on these kind of discussions, that's not necessarily they're going to make decisions, but to have their input, because they're the boots on the ground. They're the ones talking to the customers. They're the ones seeing kind of how it all flows. What a great idea to get them involved in what can we do next? What can we do better? Wow, I think in any situation, pandemic or not, I think that is a great opportunity to really get buy-in from your employees, because then they feel more like part of what's happening. And when you feel like you're part of what's happening, you have a tendency to work harder. This is part of what I said, so I really want to give. That is such a great idea. Wow. Okay. Woo! That's worth the price of admission, guys and gals. Man alive. Good stuff. Good stuff. So what is your number one tip that you could give a business owner today? Whether they're a large business, small business, entrepreneurs, what can we do right now to lessen this crazy COVID load? Is it what we were just talking about, or is there something else you want to hit on?
Everything we've talked about is extremely important. Absolutely. One of the things that we haven't touched on is taking care of ourselves.
Oh,
Wellness. Creating a wellness program for yourself, for your staff, encouraging employees to take better care of themselves, but also giving them the tools and resources to do that so they could actually understand mind, body, spirit, the ways to take better care of yourself, the better ways to eat, the type of foods you should eat, moving your body. Forget the elevator, take the stairs.
okay.
Get outside, to help soothe the soul and the spirit instead of just taking your 15-minute break or your lunch break at your desk or in a room. Get outside, get out in nature. Think of meditation, breathing exercises. There are so many resources and tools out there to where we could implement this in business places.
Yeah.
Show that you do really care about your staff and your employees. And by doing that is a wellness program.
Yeah. Yeah. And like sometimes some companies will buy lunch for the employees. So instead of pizza, let's do wraps.
Salads.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So be part of the solution.
Yes.
Don't just talk about it. But yeah, that's a great idea, is thinking about and caring for ourselves. I think you said that first, was care for ourselves. Take that moment to breathe if something's getting stressful. I think it's important. I'm not a big online take a deep breath kind of gal. Okay, everybody close your eyes. That's not me. And if you are one of those people, yay, you go. I think that's fantastic. That's just not me. I would not get on a Zoom call and everybody close their eyes and start meditating. It's just not what I do. But I know lots of people, and that works for them. But close the door, turn off the light, calm yourself down. I think that that really helps everybody as they move through their day, is just to take that minute. And what does getting out in nature do for us? You know, you said get outside, you know, and some people might work downtown. You know, there's probably not too many nature things down there. That could be a tree or two. But what does getting outside do for us in the middle of a day when we're stressed out?
It allows you to walk away. It
Mm,
allows you to be with yourself. And you could practice finding something that's beautiful to focus on.
hmm,
It could be that one tree, or it could be watching somebody help somebody cross the street. You could maybe help somebody walk across the street. It could just be, it's one of those mindful moments. Just walk away and
mhm.
just sit. Maybe you just sit in silence.
Yeah,
We don't need to have our brain constantly thinking. Slow it down and just take a moment and look at something. And it could be a leaf, it could be a flower, it could be a tree.
yeah,
And just, I love to people watch. And sometimes I watch people and the musicians and just watch them in their element, and they're having a
yeah,
fabulous time. It's a way to check out of the busy rat wheel that we're constantly on, and
yeah.
stopping things and then actually being present.
So these are really great tips that that I think all of us can use, whether you're a business owner, the manager, a director, and even if you're just part of the staff, because believe me, the business can't run without you. So you are an important part. Bring some of these ideas to your business. I think this is so wonderful. Cindy, you've got some really great ideas. Now, I understand you have some tips that our viewers can get to. And what is that? You have tips for to think well and thrive. Is that what that?
That's correct. Tips to think well and thrive.
All
And
right,
they
super.
include like meditation, reading, getting in nature. So, and that is available. If anyone would like to go to my website, they can sign up and I will send that to them so they could share it with themselves, their family. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So here's Cindy's website, sailorsjourney.com. So if you just go there and you can sign up to get this list, and just say, hey, I heard this on the interview, and then even if you can't remember the tips for what is this, think well and thrive. If you can't remember that part, just say something about the list from the interview. It all works. Cindy will know exactly what you're talking about. So Cindy, this is great information, and you work with business owners and companies on being more mindful, and this neuro-linguistic stuff I think can change a lot of what's happening in the workplace if we really take a look at it. So guys and gals, here's how you get a hold of Cindy. Cindy's website is sailorsjourney.com, and you can get a hold of her at hello@sailorsjourney.com. There's her phone number. You have questions, comments, get this list. I mean, I just think this is great. I know I'm going to get the list. That's one thing I'm going to do. So Cindy, thank you so much. Our time has flown by. I've really appreciated this information. I think everyone out here needs to hear about these steps and actions that we can take. And I really want to thank you for taking the time to be here. And for those of you out there who don't know who I am Dana Morgan Barnes. I am Coach Dana Inspires, and I work with women entrepreneurs. I help them find their value because women have a tendency to undervalue our services, our experience, our expertise. Gals, you're out there, you know who you are. You can change the world one person at a time, and I can help you do that with finding your value and your perfect client. So contact me, whether you want to be interviewed, if you have questions about an interviewee, or just want to know what I do. There I am, Dana at CoachDanaInspires.com. Again, thank you, Cindy. This has been fabulous. I really appreciate your time, and just take care. And until next Tuesday, we'll see everybody on Business Inspiration.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.